thought Chastain was going to do that, but yeah, it definitely fell off. And I thought it was more of a track position kind of get car or race that, yeah, whoever was first up there was going to pretty much stay there. And then we had Chris Buescher, definitely made up a ton of positions for starting 18th, I think. Yeah, so 15th, he started around, if you calculate that out, starting 18th, right up there third. Then Harvick was crucial. Definitely had that place differential right there. I wish I wasn't as high on, but yeah, having 20 positions right there also helped him out, helped this person out. And Daniel Suarez, I guess you just throw him in, but I think there were definitely a lot of other guys better, like Seabell. Seabell scored a lot more points and is really good on these short tracks overall. Even Truex, I would have thought, could have had a chance to win the race, and Mel almost did, just ran out of laps at the end of the race. And so, other guys to take note of, yeah, Logano, another place differential guy, I'm gonna say. I think he started 17th. He had a terrible qualifying running his round 2 or the Group B qualifying, and so had that place differential there. And yeah, in 129, that's really crucial. Denny Hamlin, I think, was okay, but he did lose one position. Basically ran where he was starting. Other guys to take note. Yeah, I think that's about all the guys to take note. I think Larson was a guy I was high on, but definitely fell off at the end, as well as Chastain. So yeah, I think just on these longer races, you just gotta go for the guys that have done well in the past, and if not, you gotta trust that sometimes, even though they qualify terribly, because the track evolved a lot from each qualifying round, it was not a good idea. Anyways, Richmond is out of the way, so let's take a look at our Glen slate. It's gonna be an interesting slate here. You have Larson as the highest guy, and he's starting second. That car has speed. Oops. Yeah, so why don't we take a look at why do we take a look at the practice speeds? Oops. That we had. Nope, sorry. Let's see. So the practice speeds that we have, if I can pull them up. All right, so we want to look at the averages here. Of course, you're gonna look at the wherever people finished or at the end of practice. But yeah, Kyle Larson was the fastest overall, so I guess it's fitting that he is the highest overall multiplier. Actually, let me change a few things here. But yeah, 4 people in the chat. Welcome. Send your comments in, or send your comments and everything into the chat, and we will look at them. What's up, JC Money? Happy Sunday. We got the race here at the Watkins Glen. I forgot the name of this race is. It's kind of a mistake right there. But an easy search up. It is the the Go Bowling at the Glen. There's no mileage, I guess, right there, since it's going to be 90 laps. About 220 laps. What's up, David? Thanks for tuning in, as always, to these Sunday shows. And let's get back to what I was doing. Okay, we're just going to do tab right there. So, yeah, Larson was first overall. And then if you take a look. Oh, yeah, by the way, Kimi Räikkönen is racing this weekend. F1 guy right there. And, oops. Okay, let's do that. Ooh, okay, a little bit slow there today. It's all good. Yeah, F1 legend right there. Qualified at 27th, and looks like we are in a bit of lag there. I'm gonna close out a few of these things here. Oh boy. All right, sorry about that. Just closing out a few things. Probably got too many tabs open. Anyways, if you look at the speed, yeah, like I mentioned, Kimi Räikkönen is doing this weekend, and F1. I think it's a legend. Wasn't that great in the track. Where is he? 29th on the 5-lap averages. I think, yeah, most people could just only run a 5-lap average, especially the Group B people, because, yeah, we had a caution / red flag of when Ty Gibbs hit the wall and Christopher Bell had an issue. So We're going to talk about those two guys in a few seconds here, but if you just look at the practice overall went Larson, Chase, AJ, Byron, a lot of Hendrick up here, or just Chevrolet in general. Top 4 up here, and Ty Gibbs. That's a bit misleading, I would say. Although he is going to be, I would say he does well. Then Busher and Briscoe, those two guys from the Ford camp, I really like. A lot of Fords up here from 8th all the way down to 12th. Then you got Cindric, another Ford guy I really like, and Joey in 15th. You see, not besides Ty Gibbs in the top 10, top 15, it's really Denny and Bell. But Bell had an engine issue, so he's starting in the back. But yeah, JGR has not been strong at these tracks, so we're gonna try and avoid them. That's kind of my first tip for today is to avoid JGR unless your name is Christopher Bell, because as you can see here, has a decent enough multiplier, 1.75 in the captain spot, and then the super flex spot, 1.15. So I think on average he is a bit lower in the multiplier. Let's see. Last weekend was. Do they not mention? I guess they don't mention last weekend, but usually he's much higher multiplier than 1.15. But I would say they put him down here because he's really good at these road courses in general, and also he's starting him back. So I mean that's going to be a lot of place differential right there. So I have him right now not as a captain spot. I think my reason for having Chase in the captain spot is he's got a fast car. He loves the Watkins Glen. Is good, like 90 laps. I mean, if he leads like about 80 laps, that's pretty amount of good laps. That's pretty good amount of laps or large amount of laps. And then Larson's second. I mean, if he falls out, I hope he doesn't fall in the top 10, but he should be in the top 10 pretty much all day long. Besides the pit cycles, which is another good thing to mention. The pit cycles here, you really don't want to focus a lot on like the first 2 stages because it's going to be cycling a lot because people are going to be playing strategy with the stages and how people are going to stay out or stay out or decide to pit and get those precious stage points. So you'll see like some guys that aren't fast, as you can see here, like let's say like Truex 19th fastest, or is Blaney? I don't remember Blaney having a really fast car. 22nd. Those 2 guys are the 2 main guys that, if you really want to target, you're going to be hoping that they place or that they are points running, as they say. So like they'll be like up in the top 10 when the stage is finished to get those precious stage points, because really the playoff gap right now, if you take a look at the standings, right now Blaney is he's 26 points to the good. And then Truex is 26 points out of the good. So that's really only like a 1 race difference. So you can make that up in 1 race. And then next week is Daytona. And Daytona, we're going to be having some special things for that race. But that race is crazy. Like you can lose 26 points easily in that 1 race because of how crazy and wicked it is for being a super speedway race. So I would imagine those 2 guys are the ones that are going to be stage racing. And then even the guys with the playoff points, like if you look at, let's see, like Cindric's at 206, and then he's going to be trying to get those stage points, I'd imagine, and try and beat like Suarez or Kurt Busch for those precious stage points to get a better or like a higher position in the chase. So I would say Cindric, maybe even Briscoe or Kurt. Kurt's out. Sorry, Kurt's out because of the concussion. If you haven't heard, he's gonna be out for the rest of the regular season, so the next 2 races. But yeah, Briscoe, Suarez, Cindric, they could be playoff point racing. But I think at Road America, I'd say that's the most comparable track that we've run so far. It was mostly Briscoe and Cindric going out there to get those stage victories. If not, it was Ryan Blaney and Martin Truex Jr. But anyways. So let's keep on going down. Like I mentioned, Chase Elliott, Larson, I think those are the top 2 cars for today. But they don't have a high multiplier. I mean, I'm only really going to risk it with Chase because he's got that 0.05 advantage over Larson. And I think he's got the better car. Even though the averages say Larson has the better lap average, I mean, Chase Elliott is Chase Elliott. I mean, that's all you really got to mention. Joey Logano is a sneaky person. I'd like to, if you like to pivot off of Larson and Chase Elliott. I mean, he's not got if you look at the lap averages, he's 7th, but he qualified 20th, although he did In the Group A qualifying, Kyle Tilley spun, and so his lap run, it was good. It was looking good, but he couldn't really finish it. So, as at the end of the qualifying session, he tried to run another lap, but it wasn't as fast as the lap he was going to be finishing. So yeah, kind of a miss picture with him right there. So I kind of like him here, even though at previous road courses he hasn't finished well. See 15th and 15 points right there with the 27th, and then even the Sonoma race he didn't finish well, but apparently he's got speed here. And although his history isn't even that good, so I kind of don't want to play Logano. But if you want to be different, I would say take Logano. Hamlin's also got some speed here, surprisingly, with the ninth place on the 5-lap average. So yeah, I don't want to take Hamlin, but it is an interesting play to do so. And then you got Truex. Truex is he's supposed to be the king of here, but in the practice sessions I'm not. Yeah, he's not looking good. 19th. He's really gonna need to play that strategy game. So that's another guy you can look on to for possibly the race win. Maybe not like laps led or actually I think place differential will work out well, but yeah, even with the multiplier, I'm not so high on because it's 1.1. You got a lot of other good guys that have higher multipliers, like Christopher Bell, like I mentioned at that 0.05 multiplier, and he's starting further back, so I'd rather use him as a place differential play there. Briscoe, he's usually good on these road courses, starting 14th. Whenever I think of Briscoe, I think he's got the skill to race on these road courses, but just at the end, he always struggles at the end. Like it's like the car, they don't adjust very well and they don't accommodate well with the track. And it's like every time when it gets to the end, he fades at the end. Although last year I think he had a top 10 finish. But at these road courses, I'm not really high on. I mean, we can even take a look at these road course averages. They will pull up. Yeah, so let's see. Oops. Okay. All right. Looks like. All right. Let me. Oops. Okay. Oop. While we're pulling it up, I can talk about the next driver, Ross Chastain. Another guy I'm pretty high on. He didn't qualify as well. I mean, although he does have the 13th best, he was 11th in practice. Yeah, 11th in practice, 13th on the 5-lapper. Although he doesn't seem to have the speed, but like Trackhouse has figured out their road course game. Like he won at Coda, he finished pretty well at Sonoma, 7th place, and then Suarez, like his teammate, won there. And then even if you factor in Road America, 4th and 5th were definitely for 4th and 5th. 4th was Chastain at Road America, and then 5th was Suarez. So they have some really good programs right there. And then Chastain, he was running top 5 until he made a boo boo at the Indy Road Course, which he went off on the runoff area, which is a no-no. So yeah. So I really like Chastain, especially at a pretty decent multiplier, 1.2. I think most weeks he's probably lower. So yeah, I'm gonna take him there. Although he has been running not as well, but yeah. Even then we can. Looks like that side's not working. Not a surprise. All right. Oops. All right. So let's see. Yeah. Anyways, next guy up is Bubba Wallace. I would say I'm not a fan of Bubba. No, I think that's the one guy to avoid also. I mean, he didn't have a 4th place finish at any road course, but remember that road course was very chaotic at the end. And even then at his road courses, I'm not so high on him. So yeah, I mean 50 points is not bad. But if you look at Road America, he had issues with Logano in that race, and then Sonoma, I don't think it was even better. Sonoma, don't take Bubba. That's the one I'm avoiding. Let's see if there's any comments right now. Yes, thanks, JC, for the wonderful comments. Yep, we're definitely getting back in the grind tonight. But yeah, Ryan Blaney, like I mentioned, he's points racing. He has a decent enough car. although the lap averages don't show it 22nd. I think he is higher on the just the one lap average. Yes, at 17th. So if you think he gets to 17th, or if he gets to 15th, that's at least 11 points right there. So it will be interesting to see him. Eric Almirola and Eric Jones are the two guys I would say are the plus differential guys. I don't know why Almirola was this far back. I don't remember. I might have to go watch it and see why. But yeah, he's so this far back, but his lap averages say he is a top 25 car. So that's at least 10 place differential points for you right there. And then although yeah, he was 29, so well, maybe he only gets like 6. But I think at this multiplier, he's definitely worth looking at. Eric Jones also, because I think Eric Jones has a faster car with an 18th on the board and the 25th on the one lap. I mean, I'd look more for Eric Jones, but if you want Eric Almirola, I can understand why. Although, like I do mention, these road courses are hard to pass at, and yeah, if you look at, let's look at a few things here. So we're just gonna go. I think they were the last one up. So this is great fantasy too, also by the way. Oops. Okay. So yeah, if we get the rankings here, because I'm doing the last 4 races because I'm gonna. Okay. The last 4 races that we have run on road courses are the ones that we have run in the next gen car, and that's pretty significant. As you can see, yeah, Austin, Sonoma, Elkhart Lake, which is Road America, and then the Indy GP. And yeah, we're just gonna reload this page. Yes. Yeah, if we just look at the Road America results, so that would be Elkhart Lake, race 20. You can see, oh, sorry, this is 2020. Oh, wait, actually, let's just do this next at this track. There's a lot more passing. There was a lot more. See, like in this top 20, you don't see a lot of guys coming from the top 25 or like from 20th to like 35th. The only guy they can see coming here was Kevin Harvick, which makes sense. But yeah, yeah, there's like one guy that comes from like, or 1 or 2 guys. I guess you can count AJ, although AJ's pretty special everywhere, but he's not starting 21st this weekend. So although he does have a higher multiplier this weekend, I'm gonna say yes, no, or where is AJ? Did I miss out on AJ or? Just yeah, okay. He does have a higher multiplier this weekend, but I mean, Cindric's only 2 positions back, and he's got a he's also good on these road courses. In fact, I want to say, oops. Let's see. Let me pull up. Is somewhere. Oh yes. So although oops, let's just reload that for a second. Although you can't really take in fact all the road courses here. Like I said, Road America is the best comparison, and everywhere else is not really applicable too much. But Sonoma, it is. I guess you can also throw in the mix, but it's more technical. But yeah, I mean Chase Elliott and I mean Cindric's up there in like second best car with the speed. So that's why I'm liking Cindric more. Well, AJ, I guess you could say 16 car. Yeah, it's okay. 15's not bad, but yeah, starting up high there, I'm not so high on him. I'd rather just take a Cindric play if you're gonna go this low into the multiplier. I guess while we're in this multiplier range here, I guess I'll mention some other guys to look at. Ty Gibbs, he did crash the car, but apparently they don't need to repair it. So I mean, he's a rookie right now, and that 2311 equipment, I'm not so high on it. I mean, yesterday he did run the Xfinity race. He was running second before he took out William Byron in the bus stop chicane, and then yeah, Byron ended up taking him out. It was a very funny situation right there, but yeah, I'm not so high on Ty Gibbs. Although it is a good way if you want a higher multiplier to take that guy. Yeah, kind of not high on him because of his. I guess one is his starting position, 2 of it, his experience, and then 3, I guess, yeah, like I mean, he experience. Going back to number 2 on the experience, like he crashed his car yesterday, so I don't want to take a guy like that. It's got a lot of risk right there, but it could pay off in the end. Todd Gilliland is another guy I like to look at, although Burton does. Him and Burton, I would say, are the guys that ones you want to play in this, like, or usually most weeks you play these two guys as a risk or reward. But I'm liking Todd Gillen here. He seemed to run well on the road courses anyhow. Well, it doesn't really show here, and it says, Burton is a bit faster, but, Gillen has shown some speed with a 14th and a 27th at the Indy road course, so I'm liking Gillen a bit more than Burton, although Burton does give you the place differential right there with 11 more positions, starting 11 positions further back than Todd Gillen, but um, yeah, I'm really high on him because of what he's shown in practice, and I think he can really run well on these road courses. Like I mentioned, Raikkonen is doing this race. He's got the same multiplier as Cindric and Allmendinger. I mean, it's a trackhouse car, although the pit crew is very terrible, so that's kind of a reason why I'm staying off of him, is because, yeah, I mean, pit road is really the name of the game also in the Cup Series, besides, having a good car and being a good driver. Your pit crew has to be really good, and that pit crew is made up of some really terrible guys. So we're going to try and avoid Raikkonen there, although it's an interesting way to pivot off of, Cindric, Allmendinger, those kinds of guys. Cody Ware at 39. I mean, he's starting like last place, and his apparently so far what he's run on road courses, he hasn't finished last. I mean, you can see here 27th, 32nd, 32nd, and 24th. I mean, if you believe he can do that, and I mean, he's starting it further back. I mean, not further back, but he's starting it in the back pretty much every time. So if you think he can do something like that and weather the chaos, because we kind of have some rain here this weekend, so that's going to throw a little bit of a wrench into the plans. Then I guess you could play him there. Although I'm not, I don't want to try and go for a guy like that. LaDroit's never been good on road courses, so I'm not going to try and take him. Busher and Custer are the guys I'd like to look at. Although Custer, I mean, he's never been running that well usually, but I mean, apparently road courses are his specialties. And if you look at, 50 points at the Brickyard, and then you got 30 points at Road America, and then 21 at Sonoma. I mean, it's shown that he's improving, but I don't know if you really want to risk it. Although he will give you the place differential right there. Actually, let's throw in Bowman. Bowman and Butcher are the two guys that have fast cars. And if you really want to go for the guys that have the track position and will finish well, those are the two guys I like in the 1.35 range. Although McDowell is starting further up there. McDowell, and every time I try and use him, I feel like he just fades. Same thing like with Briscoe, fades at the end of the races. So we are going to try and avoid Michael McDowell right there. Although he does have a higher multiplier. He's got that road experience, training with AJ Allmendinger. He's shown the speed, but 13th. I kind of want him to start further back for him to be playable, but it's going to be interesting, as well as Austin Dillon. I think apparently a lot of people are high on him. So yeah, I think with Austin Dillon, you could try and sneak him in there, but I think that's more for like the DFS games and not so much SuperDraft. Byron's also got a fast car, like although he doesn't have a fast car usually on these road courses, but let's see where he does have the second fastest car here. Yeah, second fastest car here on the 5-lap average. So and he's got a higher multiplier. He's got about the same multiplier as Suarez. I took Suarez because he is starting further back, and man, Suarez on these road courses he's like a beast. Like, I mean, his speed is just it's tremendous. Let's see, not late in the run. I think it's just Suarez is like the 5th best car here, while like Byron he's the 8th best car here, and really it's only because he's only have one good speed ranking, and that was the Indy road course. But Suarez, he's been top 10 every road course, and so he's got a really good average, and he's a safer play in my opinion than William Byron. Harvick and Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is going in the back, so I think I'm just taking him off the board anyhow. But if you were to pick Toyotas, like if you're gonna bet like top Toyota, I'm not gonna either bet Kyle Busch or Christopher Bell. Even Martin Truex Jr. could be a play, but I would say Kyle Busch and Bell have the best road course car or road course experience so far. Although Truex does finish, a little bit better, but and then Harvick, he's kind of the same boat like Blaney. I would say maybe not points racing as well as so much, but he's gonna need to get there, and I don't think that's really possible for him because of the speed he's showing. Although his speed isn't that bad on these road courses. Actually, they're terrible. It's terrible. But yeah, usually he finishes okay, even though he has some terrible speed. But I'm not really looking at him. Yeah, get subscribed because I want to answer you guys' questions. Need some questions out here. Throw me some fantasy questions. Because yeah, I think that's about it for for the players or the drivers out here. But yeah, this is a different contest, so I'm gonna try and do a different lineup here. So why don't we get Chase out of here? I think I'm still gonna use Chase, or I'm still gonna use Bell, Chastain. We're gonna try and do. How about this? We're gonna do Chase. I really like Chase. Maybe I'm too high on him, but yeah, I'd say he's gonna be good here. I'm gonna try and do Busher. I think Busher's gonna be doing something interesting out here. Yeah, and then the captain spot's gonna be interesting. Honestly, why not? Let's gamble with Mel at the captain spot and see what he does. Although it probably won't. Oops, it's still in the super flex spot. Let's try and gamble with Bell at the captain spot. Who else would I like? I think Busher, Elliott, they're starting pretty much up there, and they got the speed. I could do. Byron's not been that bad. Like I mentioned, he's got that speed here, but I don't know how much I trust him really on these road courses. Although, like I mentioned, he does have the speed. Honestly, I might just go Reddick because he does have a good 10-lap average, and he's been fast in the 15-lap average. So I might just fade Byron and decide to go Reddick, and he's got a higher multiplier anyway. So that might just be the only change I make is to switch it up with taking Suarez out for Busher. And yeah, that might be my lineup for this weekend. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know because it will be interesting. Oh, I'm on Facebook. Oops. Let's get rid of that. But my DraftKings lineups are gonna be interesting. Let's see. Even then, we can even look at some of the data here. And pretty much I'm gonna say everyone ran 10 laps here. Seems like Larson does have a faster car, I guess you can say. So a lot of it is scattered along here. But yeah, if you just actually it's more simpler on the NASCAR website. So if you take a look at lap averages, yeah, I'm really just looking at these guys right here. These 5 guys. AJ, like I mentioned, is starting a bit further up than I want to, so I'm going to try and fade him as well as Michael McDowell. His average is, it's not that good either, 21st. So, I mean, he could just throw down a monster lap and call it, end of the day, but I'm not really too high on him there. Let's see, where did Byron go? Byron's not even up here, too. Maybe it's just, 27th. I don't know if I want to have Byron that much, but he will be an interesting guy to use, especially in any contest really you play. But I think his value even in DraftKings is pretty high. But yeah, even looking at the Road America race, also, it was Reddick, Larson, Elliott, Chastain. Like these 5, I'm really expecting big things today. Even Busher, Cindric. I'm really going to be high on. I think that's like my top 7 right here. Is basically the top 7 at the Road America course. But yeah, it's really interesting slate you got here in SuperDraft because you can take a lot of guys starting in like 20th ish and they might pan out. But like I said, not a lot of guys finish starting 20th. Will finish in the top or from 20th on back, like top 20 on back, will finish that well. And we've also got rain, so that could throw a wrench in a lot of plans. I don't even take a look at the Coda race. But yeah, these are sort of my average finish. Top 7 guys I mentioned are also really good on their average finish on these road courses. Hendricks up there, Chase Elliott's up there, McDowell's. Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Chastain, Busher, Reddick. And yeah, Blaney and Harvick. I feel like those are the 2 guys you would want to target that are starting the back besides Logano. Although Logano's average is terrible, but he's got the speed in that car, so he could do something. And then Suarez is down here. I'm not gonna say it's just because it's Coda. His Coda run in his Indianapolis run was just terrible. I don't know why. I didn't really get to look at why he was that terrible, but yeah. Like I mentioned, top Toyota, if you're going to bet for that, I would go for Bell. His odds are probably going to be that low or probably be the highest. I mean, lowest, actually. Let's see. So there's no really real reason to try and get that man. No, I don't want to. Actually, I don't want to log in. I just want to see the bets. Okay, so view all odds. Do they have? No, do they not have? Okay, they're very. Okay, so your motorsports. I'm gonna say constructor and manufacturer. Okay, let's see. Maybe is it that one? I want to say top. Yeah, honestly. Oh, they have Bell's odds at like 550. So honestly, that might be a good bet to bet on Bell because he's not the highest guy. Kyle Busch is the highest guy, probably because he's starting out there, but he's going to be going in the back. But yeah, Bell's got some decent odds right there. Being top Ford, I mean top Chevrolet, you could just go. Is Kimmy up here? Kimmy's at 7,000. You could just do that if you think he's going to be the master of the rain. But any value in here also with like top Chevrolet? Byron's possible at 1,200. He's kind of a bit higher. Yeah, a bit higher than like the guys like starting back there, and he's got a fast car. Although, how much do you really trust him on these road courses is another thing. And then his teammate 2,000. Both of them haven't really had some momentum in the past few weeks, but they seem to have got some speed so far at the Glen. I mean, all 100 cars have. So, if you think they can try and beat out their teammates, Larson and Elliott, that's going to be an interesting bet right there. Top Ford, I can kind of agree with Cindric right there. Might just going to go with Busher at 450 right there instead, or even like Logano and Blaney, they could also break through in my opinion. But yeah. Anyone got any questions? Bowman to Logano, a good pivot. That's a good question. Is this for DraftKings or is this for SuperDraft? I guess we can go over both. Wait, so you're changing? You're going from Bowman to Logano? Is that what you're saying also? Or are you saying that you would take Bowman over Logano? I mean, in the SuperDraft, you'd be sacrificing some points on the place differential right there if you're taking Bowman in the super flex spot or even in the captain spot because Logano's starting 9 places back, but the multiplier, I think the multiplier of Bowman will probably outweigh him, and I would say Bowman's also got a fast car right there. And although he was like a little bit slower than the 5-lap averages, his 10-lap average was okay, and then his 15-lap average was right there. Only second car to do it, so they might master it. Although his road course speed has not been that well, although he did finish well at Coda. I think Sonoma he did finish well, but after that he's been on a slump at these road courses. Although it's putting him at a 15.5 average finish because he's got that one top 10 finish and that's about it. Although, well, actually, he hasn't been that bad. I think any road course he somehow wrecked out. So but even then we can do the math on that. So if we throw in Bowman and then we throw in Logano. So we're gonna try Logano. Okay, on DraftKings, the Logano. So you're saying Logano has chalk on DraftKings? That's kind of actually a good question. I would have thought Bowman had the chalk on over Logano, but it kind of does make sense. Logano does have chalk right there. So if I see one of my, because I actually threw in more, I don't think I have Bowman at all in one of my DraftKings lineups. I have more of Joey Logano in the lineups because yeah, he's shown that he has speed. Although his road course experience has, or his road courses have been that good. I mean, well, actually, they're only separated by $200. I mean, heck, I'd go Bowman in the faster car and I guess starting position. If you think if you think Hendrick is a better team than Penske, which I'm thinking right now it is, I think he has a better shot to get a top 5, top 10. While Logano, I think at most he'll get maybe edge top 10, top 15 right there. It could be better than what I'm saying, but yeah. If you do pivot down to Bowman, I mean, hey, that's an extra $200, so why not? And even then, if we do some math, there, so like Bowman, we don't have to be predicting like top 10 right there. So Chase, I would say Chase, and Chase, Chastain, Reddick, Busher, Byron. I guess you could throw in the top 5. No particular order, but if you throw him in there, and then maybe someone in 6, like Cindric in 6, and then say like he gets 7, so like that's 5 positions already in there, and so. Honestly, I need to see the scoring sometimes. Like 7th already on to what your 7th place is. So, that's like a good 42 points, I want to say. Yeah, good 42 points. So if Logano starts 20th, ends up getting what, 12th? I'm thinking maybe 11th. So that's 34. And then if you calculate the math in there, that's like 41. So honestly, Bowman seems to have the edge over Logano. If you think he finishes top 7. RG. What is RG? Maybe I really don't know what that is, but okay. I can see why people want to do more Logano, especially in like cash and GPP games. But yeah, I'd say it's just because more of the placements are right there, and I mean it's only $200 more. So if you don't really care for $200, you go for Logano. Yeah, I really want to know what RG is. Maybe I don't know what that is. Yeah, if you guys got any more questions, happy to answer them. Although, yeah, I'm kind of a bit struggling there too because both of them could have good days. I'm thinking both of them could have good days, and like one of them is gonna be a pivot off of, or both of them could be pivots off of like some popular guys. Like who's popular down here? Like Byron, Busher. About the same amount of cash right there. So yeah, I can see that they're both pivots off of them. Anyways, yeah, if you guys also throw your lineups down there, let's see what everyone else has got because yeah, it's gonna be a fun race. Got a little bit of rain in the mix, so that will put a little bit of some wrenches into or some. I guess that would be like somewhat of a stumbling block to some drivers, but let's see. Yeah, I mean they're kind of ranking Bowman and Logano even on this site the same thing, which I can understand why. But yeah, I think hitting 2 o'clock mark. One's got any more questions. We'll probably close it around there. If not, give it 5 more minutes at 2:05. And yeah, next weekend's Daytona. We're gonna probably have a special contest for that. Maybe do a special stream for that as well, because it's the last race of the regular season. So will be an interesting time, to look at that race and to break it down because you could be going for the regular stack the back strategy as always because never really no one in the top 10 really pays off on these like even DraftKings SuperDraft that like no one pays off. I mean, at most you want to play one guy. I mean, the one guy I'm looking at that's kind of almost a surefire in my opinion is Blaney. Although I don't want to jinx it, so but he's really good on these super speedways, and I mean I could see him qualifying high up there. Yeah, thanks JC. Also got some fantasy stuff probably for you guys. It'll be another big fantasy season for you guys on the football side. So yeah, kind of also be kind of weird that football and NASCAR will be collashing on some weeks. Kind of sucks there, but yeah, we'll take it one step at a time. All good. Can't. Who says you can't watch two sports at once? I've done that so many times that I've kind of got used to it. So yeah. Any updates? Let's see if there's any updates. There's always some updates here and there. I know they're also saying 30% chance of rain. Ooh, boy. Wow. Never mind. Okay, so we do have some big announcements just coming in at the last second. I always like to do these streams, like 1 or 2 hours before because, there's always a lot of news that comes in at the end. Let's see if it pulls up. Yeah, we got an electrical issue on the 24 car, so that guy is falling to the back. Let's see. I saw this one guy also. It also looks like the 43 car's also got some issues. Man, everyone's having issues so far, and we haven't even started the race. I think, yeah, so this one reporter's got a good list here. If it will load. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. It will be a fun race. Ooh. Still on, yeah, it'll be a fun race to be looking at today, and oh, that's nothing. Yeah, so this is a full list of everyone dropping the rear. Pretty much the guys from yesterday were Kyle Busch and Bell and Ware. Bell and Kyle Busch with an engine change, but the new ones today are William Byron, Daniel Kvyat, Ty Gibbs, and Kyle Tilley. I think the two guys that's going to be impacted here is going to be. It's not going to be Kyle Tilley or Daniel Kvyat. They'll be in the back all day long, anyways. But I think Byron's going to be that drop into the back is going to be interesting to see because he has a top 10 car in speed from what I've seen so far. But starting back there and coming from the back, it's going to make the race entertaining. I'm going to say that's at least that's the least point right there. But I mean, the question is, can he get back to his fourth place starting spot? Because he's already been in the negative points right now, starting all the way back there. So I don't want to try and take him, and especially Ty Gibbs starting 16th. So they're going to be. Those are two guys I'm going to try and avoid actually now. So kind of figured out who we're going to try and avoid today. Although I mean I know Eric Jones is having problems. Hopefully it's not that bad, but he's starting 34th, which is only 8 positions back from the back of the field. So it's really not too bad if you to take out, or it's not too bad for Eric Jones that you need to take him out for now, unless somehow you really can't start the race at all. So that would make it even worse. Or even if he starts the race like 10 laps, behind, that's not a good idea anyhow. So, yeah, really liking it there. Yeah, so we got a lot of the cars already graded. We already had inspection so far today. So, yeah, it's gonna be a fun race. Lincoln, with the rain, it's gonna put a little bit of the race, in the man, I can't think today what the word is. A little bit of a crazy situation, I'm gonna say. Yeah, I guess also we can go back to a little bit of last week's Richmond race. Another thing that happened in the race besides, let's pull up that Richmond race, shall we? So let's see, do they have it here? No, they do not have it here. Okay, so let's pull up that Richmond race from last week and talk a little bit more about that to kind of end the stream. Oh, and I guess pit data is also kind of important. Let's see if I can pull up some pit data for you guys, because that will be some interesting things to be looking at this week. Let me pull that up for you guys. Okay, maybe I can't find the guy. There he is. That's the guy. I got some. This is a really good guy to look at for some pit data. So shout out to Ryan Stevens. Also does a lot of betting here, so I'm liking him there too. Okay, let's see. Okay, so right now we have the True Performance ranks. Actually, that's not the pit data. Do we have some pit data? I'm gonna probably search through here. It's all good. This is the pit data. No, that's not it. Let's see. Maybe it doesn't have it up this weekend. That's interesting. I guess not. Okay. I might have to keep looking at this thing. Anyways, that's okay. I think pretty much the same guys are going to be up there anyhow. Let's see. Actually, I think if I remember. Nope. I might have to just go down here. I might just go back to Richmond. I don't think it's going to change too much for Richmond, but oops. Does he have the pit data here? No. Okay, I'll find the pit data out later. But yeah, so let's go to the last Richmond race. Like I mentioned, Kevin Harvick coming from 13th on the grid. He was really a good guy to use, as well as Bell. Busher is kind of a surprise to me, because if you look at what Busher's done at the track, he's never finished that well at Richmond. Hamlin makes sense. He's been really good here. Chase Elliott was another guy I think a lot of people were high on, and that 9 car has been pretty much the glass of the field for the last pretty much the whole summer stretch. It's been Chase Elliott, not Chris Buescher. But yeah, if you look at his Richmond stats for Chris Buescher, the guy has never finished in the top 10 at all. Besides, these okay teams here, and then 17 cars, got better. But even then in the Richmond race, he fell off into a 15th place finish. So yeah, coming home third was kind of a surprise for me for that Chris Buescher car. Truex is usually good here. He's got the most wins, I would say. I'm thinking, or top 5 in the active driver wins. But yeah, the car, he couldn't really figure out the car as well. And Stenhouse getting into him while trying to get on pit road didn't help him that much, but still came up with the top 10 there. Almirola and Cindric were the guys I was really high on. That was starting really farther back up there. And even I wish I wasn't a guy I wasn't high on, because I didn't really. His momentum so far in the last few races has just been terrible. But he just finishes 10. Can't really figure out the race at the end. I saw he was fading at the end, so yeah. But 11 is okay, although he did finish a lot better in the spring race, so that's interesting to see. But top 12 seems pretty fair so far, although Larson starting first. Basically the front row just struggled at the end, like 14th and 18th for Chastain and Larson. It's kind of a weird thing right there. Then Keselowski was okay, and then somehow something at the end hindered him. But he still came home for top 15, although he was a top 10 car most of the day. Austin Dillon's using good here, but I couldn't really figure out this race. Custer had issues. Eric Jones crashed when Custer and not Custer, Chastain spun Kyle Busch, and then he actually rear-ended. Chastain. Wasn't so bad for the Chastain car, but it was a lot worse for Eric Jones. And then Ty Gibbs had an engine issue, so very quiet race so far for this Richmond race, except for also Reddick was the first caution for spinning out off of turn 4. But yeah, really quiet race for the Richmond race. so far. Let's see if we got any questions. Doesn't look like it. All good. But yeah, might as well recap one more race before we head off here of the races I didn't get to. So yeah, Harvick, in that one race is going to be Michigan. I didn't really make a super draft lineup, but let's just go off of what my fantasy live lineup is. Fantasy live is just basically your normal fantasy, although with some stage points here and there. No, this was a terrible one. I'm not going to show you that one on lineup because yeah, I wasn't my best one. But the main lineup I had Martin Truex Jr., had Bubba Wallace, had Logano, Larson, and Hamlin. So basically, a lot of guys finishing up there in the top 20, or top 10 actually. I think all my guys finished top 10. So it was a really good day for me in general. I just didn't have Kevin Harvick at the end. Like all my guys finished from first all the way down to seventh. But the only two guys I didn't have in that top 7 was Kevin Harvick and then Ryan Blaney. But yeah, not surprised. Kevin Harvick's been really good at this track anyhow, so I just really didn't think he had the speed with that 16th place starting spot. But yeah, Harvick's really just turned it up in the last 2 weeks. It kind of makes sense. I mean, Richmond and Michigan, I think they're still old tracks. But yeah, Michigan, if you look at his average finish on all overall tracks, I'm going to say that Michigan and Richmond are top 5 in there, and maybe not. It's still top 10 because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, those 2 tracks are 2 of his top 10 tracks, and well, if you factor out Indianapolis and then Kentucky, that's a 7th best track for him right there. And so yeah, I'm not surprised. Should have had more Harvick get both of these races, but he kind of burned me there. Bubba Wallace was surprisingly had a good day there. Although I'm gonna guess his multiplier wasn't that high. Not too sure, but yeah, got the pole there and pretty much stayed out there all day long. Coming on for the second place finish. Wish he could have got the win. Would have been a kind of a spoiler for the playoffs, but yeah. Denny Hamlin's been also good here. Logano's been decent here, but I'd say the last 2-point-mile track we ran was Auto Club. He finished 5th there, so not too much of a surprise there. Ryan Blaney, car didn't really have speed in practice, but you can never count out Ford at Michigan. They've pretty much won this race, I don't know, 2, 3 years already, maybe 4 years already. So, yeah, taking Blaney right there, especially with the place right there, is a good idea, along with Harvick. Truex he's been well at these tracks, so not a surprise there. Larson, best Chevrolet. Chevrolet really struggled this weekend. Although Chastain was running out there, but he had some issues at the end of the race, which was a pit road penalty. Then he wrecked Christopher Bell. Bowman coming from 30th is also another good place for eventual play, I'd say, right there. And Eric Jones. I guess Eric Jones really likes these 2-mile tracks because he finished 2nd on Auto Club. And Bowman was running top 10 before he smacked the wall. And yeah, Kai Gibbs coming home with the top 10. And what his third start shows kind of some potential for that rookie to become full-time. Chase Elliott struggled the whole weekend. Byron as well. Kind of pretty much similar guys up here. RFK struggled as well, not surprised. The guys that really crashed or had issues, well, Suarez, Trackhouse was running decent at the end, but Suarez had a tire issue. That's why he's 2 laps down. Bell crashed with Chastain, so that's why, Chastain's also back here. And then everyone else pretty much from 27th all the way down to 37 crashed. The big one that was called out that I would say that could have had some potential was Kyle Busch. Definitely, I would say had a fast car that weekend, but yeah, got caught up in that crash. I think because he had a slow pit stop, so yeah, not a good idea to have a slow pit stop on, in any situation. But getting caught in a wreck, that makes your day even worse. So yeah, very interesting day there. And Tyler Reddick, he, like it says in an engine issue, he was running top 10 all the day long, but yeah, just had an engine issue late, and so yeah, just had issues. And then Custer says it's a crash, but really in a fire, and yeah, that was the end of the day for him. So yeah, that was Michigan. Kind of a quiet-ish race, although you did have a few incidents this year. It wasn't as bad, but yeah, still really kind of hating myself for not for missing out on the 4 car. But yeah, not too many updates right there. 43 looks to be. Oh, parent. Okay, so this is a good update. So there's a light left, right, front brake rod after a fracture was found. So the car will not have to go to rear. So that's good. Even then, he's starting the rear because there's only 39 cars and he's starting 31st. So that's kind of basically in the rear already. But yeah, I'd still keep Eric Jones in. Although if he has to replace that, it's kind of an issue. It kind of scares me a little bit. But I mean, hey, they've already replaced it, so why not trust it? But yeah, I think we're gonna pretty much end the stream there. New to the channel. Oh yeah, hi Robert. Thanks for joining the channel. Hopefully you stay on because we will be finishing the rest of the season out most likely with some streams every Sunday, every Saturday, wherever the race is taking place. We will have a stream for that. I think next weekend is actually a Saturday race, if I remember. So we might have to do something special, or we might have to move up the preview show or fantasy show before that. But yeah, thanks for joining the channel. Always great to connect with more people because NASCAR is a really popular. I mean, well, actually, it's not as popular, but love to follow it, love to keep up with it, love playing fantasy. It's kind of become a hobby of mine. And yeah, like JC's mentioned, we got some football content on the way. So yeah, stay tuned. And oh, good question. We got one more question before we head out. Do you like any of the lower price guys in DK? So how low do you want to price Robert? Because let's look at the lower price guys. So my favorite play here, if you're looking at 7,000 and below, so that's from was anyone from Kurt Busch all the way down, although Kurt Busch doesn't count. I'm liking Almirola starting 35th. I don't know why he's qualified that horribly, but he's got top 25 speed. That's some good place differential right there. Austin Dillon, somehow a lot of people are high on. I don't know why, but he might be a good idea just for the place, just for his track position right there. I'm not high on Bubba Wallace. Eric Jones, I don't know if you heard me say it, but he had to replace the left brake rotor, so that's going to be an interesting situation right there. Custer, a lot of people are saying avoid Custer and Jones, although they will have some place difference right there, and I'd rather take Custer over Eric Jones because Custer had some time yesterday in the Xfinity Series to run, and I think he's got a decent car here anyhow. Although his speeds aren't that well. He's only a little bit slower than his teammate, but yeah, I guess Eric Jones, you could say, is a bit faster, but with the brake issue, it might lower his potential down, or even just his ownership down. Anything else? No. Haley's probably in the same boat as Dylan. Needs to stay out there, and he could. I'd say he might be I don't want to say he's the best low owned guy there, but he's gonna be an interesting guy right there. Burton. Although he's got the pace difference right there, I'm not so high on. Dylan is another guy. I think he can keep his position, or he can run better. And then Cody Ware, I mean, if you want to risk it, he's starting dead last. Might as well just throw him in there because he's only got one way to go up, and that's up. If he doesn't somehow wreck on lap 1. And then excuse me. And then Ty Dillon might be another guy to look at right there. But yeah, I'd say those are the guys that I would look at for the lower price ones. But yeah, I think we're going to end it there. Thank you guys for joining us this weekend for the Watkins Glen Fantasy Show. We'll be back next weekend, probably on a Saturday night, if I remember. That's when the Cup Series race is going to be, and we're going to probably have a special broadcast for that. So yeah, everyone, peace.